Hello everyone, Barb here from barbaderhold.closetomyheart.com. This will probably end up being a bit of a spliced together video because I made a card that I need to give to the birthday boy, and I won't have it by the time I do a process video to show how I made the card. This is the card. My brother-in-law is turning 60, we're having a party, and I made him this card. I'm not sure if this is a pop-up card, explosion card. You can fold it flat and flip up the little flappies, and you can put it in an envelope and mail it. It is mailable. You do have to accommodate anything hanging out, but it is made to fold flat, but it stands up. He's a fisherman and he loves to go elk hunting, and so I thought the woodsy theme of some of our stamp sets from back in the day would work really well for this. So when I come back, I will show you how I made this. And I am back. I wanted to show you what I'll call it the carcass of the box looks like here. This is the framework, what we will be creating. You can see that there are flaps, and it does fold flat, so you can stick it in the mail. You just have to have a gigundous envelope. There's a solid back side, and I like to write my message and do a little decorating on the back if I remember. So this is what we're going to try to create today. There are some little braces here to add some little doodads in there to jazz it up. And this is my chicken scratch sheet. Not to scale, not pretty, but basic cutting and measuring guides. So when I am creating the box, I can do it quickly. The cardstock you'll need is a piece of cardstock that measures 11.5 inches long by 6 3/4 inches high. Oh, sorry, 6.5 inches high. So 6.5. I've already scored it. You can see the score marks on there. Maybe on the back side, a little bit better on the back side. Oh, we got some funky gable shadows. And all I'm going to do right now is just start folding. And what I like to do is start with my fingers to just start manipulating the paper. I give it a soft rub, and then I go in with my bone folder. Use whatever bone folder you like. If you don't have a bone folder, you can use one of a clear acrylic block. I've seen people use the edge of a pen. Whatever you have to give that crease a nice crisp edge. Again, I start with my fingers, and then I take my bone folder and start from the middle and work my way out. I find that it works better that way. Outside on the deck doing something. Hopefully something good. So now that I have all of my my pieces folded, we have to cut away some of the parts. We won't need this section here. So what I will do is cut an angle into the bottom and then trim away this whole rectangle. I will also trim up just a little bit of an angle on the bottom. It eliminates some bulk. Then what you do is you cut each of these on the short side on the, let's see here, the 2 3/4 square. You just cut down each score mark down to your score line. Don't go any further than that, just that far. And you can use scissors. You can, if you are really handy dandy with your trimmer, can do that as well. I just use my scissors. I'm okay with that. And what I'm going to do is I will use liquid glue. You can use tape runner, you can use whatever adhesive you find works best for you. And I've got it folded over, and then you just fold this part over. Line it up as best you can. If I find that it's a little bit wonky, give it a press. It's paper, you can manipulate it. So that will be the back. And because this is the back, what I am going to do is reinforce that so that it stays sturdy and straight. Now I have some pieces of our Kraft Cardstock that I ran through with an embossing folder. The embossing folder is from my stash. It is a retired close to my heart, and it has arrows on it. This card is for my son, so I didn't feel like hearts and flowers would work real well for him. He's not a hearts and flowers kind of guy. These long panels measure 2.5 by 6.5. The shorter panels measure 2.5 by 2.5. They're squares. And that's just a 1/4 of an inch narrower and shorter than the panels here, because I wanted to create a little bit of a reveal. And again, I'm going to use my liquid glue. You could certainly use your tape runner. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I will use tape runner. But I find in our humidity, sometimes the liquid glue just works better. On the back, I want to make sure I'm getting this on the right side. And so I'm looking for you can't see it in there, but that's where the little tab is that's glued. And that's where I want to stick this. And it helps to conceal that little tab a little bit. Might be a little long. And it is. But that's on the inside, so you won't notice it too much. And I think this is just a little bit too long. I might not have measured correctly. Yeah, I want to take a little snippet off of there. I will be right back. I'm still here, I'm still here, I'm still here. Just going to take a little skosh of that off. My measuring was a little off. And that happens. That looks better. And again with my glue. I love making these cards. It's such a fun way to use some shapes and different stamps and expand my creativity. Okay, so that little piece is actually 6 1/4. Well, I told you 6.5 before. Oh, shucky darn, and look what I did. Look what I did. I put it on the wrong thing. So guess what? We're going to move this bad boy over. It goes on this one. Yikes. Well, fortunately I was able to get that off of there. So now I will have to find some paper so that I can cover this. I say half the fun of paper crafting is figuring out how to cover up your mistakes. So we'll just get these base panels on here and get the basic box built, and then I will pause and go into my paper and find some pretty patterned paper that I can use to cover that up, and it should be just fine. This is going to be some disjointed video. A lot of editing and squeezing together. Okay, so I've got those 3 outer panels, and I like to make this match these. It's just personal preference. You can do whatever you want. These little guys are the 1/2 inch strip that I had originally cut off of the piece of cardstock, and I scored in a 1/2 inch from each end. They start out being 3 3/4 inches. And let's just measure this just to be sure that I did this correctly, and I did. And I'm just reinforcing that fold with my bone folder. I find that things go together better if I reinforce the fold. And I will also use my liquid glue. This is art glitter glue. I get it online. I've not ever seen it in a store, but I do order it online. And I find that it works really well. I think our Tombow Mono multi-glue also works real well. I just struggle with keeping the spout clear. I don't know what it is, but a lot of those glues seem to clog up on me. They dry, and I try to keep them covered. I try to be a good glue steward, but apparently I am not doing something right. So this one with the little pin that I chuck in there seems to work the best for me. And I always say, you do you. You use what works for you. Because if it isn't going to work well for you, if it isn't going to hold for you, then you're not going to be happy with your crafting. So I will be back when I have my pieces of paper that I can use to fix my situation here. I found some paper in my stash. This was from a really pretty pattern paper set that we had a year or 2 ago, and I think it will work just fine. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents, to quote one of my favorite artists, Bob Ross. I love that. You just figure out a way to embellish, to cover up. So there will not be a link to this particular paper because it is no longer available. But I thought it was a really pretty paper. There was a special little mini album that they created. They had a kit, and I bought the whole kit. I just thought the mini album was so adorable. You can see here where this one was a little bit long, so I am going to hopefully take my scissors and do a little trim job. Because it's inside like that, probably won't even be able to tell. Ooh, that's quite the hack job. Just trim that off. It'll be fine. My son will not care. And there we go. We have the outside makings of our little box. And it can go either way. There we go. Now for the fun part, the decorating part. I think I'm going to use Espresso Ink. I thought I would try to keep it simple-ish. This is the Party Time stamp set. This one is currently available as of the recording of this. There is no thin cut. There used to be a thin cut that went with it, and that sold out. But this is such a simple shape that, and you can see I am taking off some of the coating. There's a little bit of a film in the manufacturing process. It probably makes them smell good. I'll tell you, one of my favorite all-time smells is this new stamp smell. I just love it. I'm going to use the little foam insert that comes with every one of the Close to My Heart stamp sets, and hopefully we will get a pretty decent impression here. And I'm just holding it in place so that the ink can transfer from the stamp to the piece of paper, and that looks pretty gosh darn good. I am very happy with that. I can show you. Yeah, that turned out okay. And that's going to go right on the back here, and I'm going to let it stick above the top. This is not going into an envelope, so I can be a little less worried about what hangs out because I'm not sticking this in the mail. My son is at home. He technically graduated from college, but because of all of the COVID stuff, his internship has been delayed. So he is working a part-time job until he can do his internship. Now, I am going to, I was at a crafty get-together with some friends this last weekend, and some of my stuff is still packed. So this is, this might be in the clearance section, but this is a little scrubby brush and our little spritz cleaner. I think it might still be in the clearance. And I like it. I think that it helps to condition my stamps. Okay, what is next? I think we'll stick this on here. I think that'll look nice. And I have another stamp set with a bigger happy birthday on it. Now this was a stamp of the month. I think it was this year, or last year it was an August stamp of the month, and lots of cute little sentiments. Always check out those stamps of the month. If you spend $50, you can get a stamp of the month for $5. Otherwise, they are available for straight purchase for the D size stamp price, which is $18.95. But sometimes there are just some real gems. And I think I'm just going to do a little happy birthday. I think I'll stamp them separate though. This one has a lot of really neat stuff on it. And I like that the happy and the birthday are separate because then you can stack them, or you can put them in a straight row. It's pretty inky. I think that will work just fine. And just trying to put things away instead of putting them down. The other stamp set had, where did it go? There it is. There's this little row of stars. You can see that. This is a little tiny stamp set. This is an A size stamp set. We have A, B, C, D, some E. So this is a littler stamp set. And sometimes those are just what you need. Just that little something something. And I am going to do a little row of stars. I think that's fun. And there's this little row of dots on here. And sometimes these little images are just what you need to fill in a space. I do this with scrapbooking, and card making and tag making. It works really well with tags. See, and I think that's kind of fun. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I will do another row of stars just to fill in that bottom. We are winging it today. Yep, I like that. And this I will attach. And this is a thin cut that we have. It might be in the clearance section now, but I like that little scallop edge. I think that's really pretty. I'm going to use a little bit of some foam adhesive to give this a little dimension. You don't need a lot. This is, like I said, this is not being mailed, so I don't have to worry too much about it getting squashed. I think I will put it at a little bit of an angle. And then here in my little stash of stuff, I wonder if I could tuck. Might be able to do something like that. I think so. I just went through these are all shapes that are close to my heart that I have off to the side here, and I am just using what I cut out. Some are retired, some are still current. I know these little brackety guys, these are current, and they will continue over into the next catalog. Yes, I did peek at the next catalog because I couldn't help myself. I think I can do a little bit of glue here, and I got, this was a really cute thin cut that we had a few years ago, and I have used it. It works great for Christmas, it works great for Christmas, birthdays, anything. You can use a little package die. So that's starting to come along here. I'm starting to get some layers going on. Excuse me. I think I will. I usually try to, excuse me, cloggy voice today. I try to decorate the outside panels. Hold that in place. I think I do want to, I want to stamp a little something on there. I think we'll do this. Not bad. Can hang off the edge a little bit. That's okay. And then I have this little itty bitty heart. And he's got a little bit of a stitch detailing on there. I think that makes it look really neat. I love that. Then I may put something else there. I haven't decided yet. And on this side, I think I will just find, I think I have some little stars. Yes, this is a retired birthday stamp set, and this was a C-size stamp set. This is a very utilitarian stamp set. And got our little baby block here. And I thought I would just stamp a couple of the stars on there. And I'm just spinning this around to get some coverage. Do that. And they can go off the edge. In fact, I think that helps it to look, I don't know why it looks better if you stamp it off the edge. It looks like the design continues on, and for whatever reason, it just looks better. And on the same little stamp set, there's this sentiment that says, "Big Wish." So I think I will put that on there. Not bad. Oh, there's also this little guy that says "Hooray." And that would be fun on there. There we go. And another one that says "To You." I think it's supposed to be "Happy Birthday to You," but I like that. So we will glue this big circle down. I think I'll do it down here. Yep. There we go. Quick before I can't get it under there. Slip that bad boy underneath there, just like so. And I think I will pop the sky up. Give it a little dimension. Probably should have done that on the other side, but I didn't. And oh well. So, there you go. Okay. Now we'll work at filling in these little banners here. I don't think I need to stamp anything else. I think we're good here. Make a little more room. And I've just got circles. I do have a banner. Let's see. I think I am going to just turn these into balloons by adding a little bit of a triangle. Just like that. It kind of looks like a balloon. And this is our two-toned 12 by 12 paper, which I love because the one side is the true color. This is Lagoon. And on the back side here, it's a little bit lighter. I'll compare them for you so you can see what that looks like. That's on the same cardstock. So this is the true color, which is Lagoon, and then the lighter shade is on the reverse side. So you really get two colors. So this is just kind of fun. Got a big guy here. And do small, small. Yeah. So what have you guys been doing this summer? It is a strange summer. Vacation plans that never happened. And we just make do. For me, I've been getting some of my crafting projects that have been languishing on shelves taken care of. I did go away and have a crafty weekend with some crafty friends, which is always fun. And I got a couple things done there that I really wanted to get done. I always take way too much stuff with me, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna, I've got a piece of acetate. And this is something that we sold maybe on the clearance section, but you can use any bit of clear packaging that's got a little stiffness to it to do what I'm gonna do. I'm just trimming a thin strip and ooh, fingers are not functioning today. And I'm just going to glue it to the back of the balloon, which gives it a little bit of a handle. And then I use it so that I can attach and it gives me a little more play when I'm sticking this stuff on there. And then it also kind of boings. I love that. This little piece I should be able to stick on a small one. And I'm just eyeballing it. This is probably maybe a little more than 1/4 of an inch. It's maybe 5/8 or so. And just attach it. And I think I have 2 more. It was funny, we all showed up at this retreat and we all brought Lysol wipes, Lysol disinfectant. Oh, it's a little crazy. But we were all thinking the same thing. Want to be safe. I'm just attaching these to the front and the back. Nope, don't like that. That covers that up too much. I need a little guy there. Covers up my package, though. That should be okay. This video is going to be forever long. Yikes. And I am going to stick one to the front, this front edge. I may do a little something there. I'm wrong. I wasn't done stamping. And this is what I do. I just kind of keep putzing with it until I think it looks full enough, until I'm happy with it. And that's all you do. You just kind of keep adding to it until you're satisfied with how it looks. So and I just think these are fun, and I know that my son, all of my sons enjoy that. They love these 3D cards. And I will fold it flat, flip up the flaps, and you could stick this in a padded envelope and stick it in the mail. And this is the paper covered up my mistake of sticking that one on the wrong side. And here we go. And then on the back side, you can add something like this. Could do something that sticks out. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'll do. I might stick you down here. And this is where you can write your message. And maybe I'll do that. Again, I'm just hacking out triangles. They aren't even, they aren't measured. It's just what I need to give it the appearance of the little filler neck on a balloon. I know what I need to do up here. I need to cover that up. I don't like how that looks. I don't like how you can see some of my stamping. So I'm just taking another one of these shapes and I'm going to cover it up on the back side, just like that. And what I think I will do is find some kind of twine. Here we go. And wrap it around there. Fumbly fingers, goodness gracious. Tie it into a knot. I'm not going to try to do a bow because that would be horrible to watch me try to fumble through making a bow. I think I will pop it up. I've just got some foam tape here. I'll give it a little pop up. The other thing you can do is you can take some glue, put it on your finger, and rub it on the string. That gets it all full of glue. Remove the adhesive backing, and I'm going to stick it at a bit of an angle, just like that. And because there's glue on the string, you can manipulate it so that it lays how you'd like it to lay, and it will then glue itself down. Hopefully. If it's not wet enough, you go back in with some more glue. That should stay if I don't putz with it. And there you go. And that is it. I hope this didn't annoy you too much and that it wasn't too long. Of course, you can always shop at barbeaterholt.closetomyheart.com. Not all of the things I used are available, as I said, but there's always some new good stuff that is available that you can manage and work with. We have such versatile products that you can just take the general idea and you can be creative. Let your imagination run wild. Thanks for stopping by.